As you can see or hear, probably not see, it is raining. Let me see if I can pan this camera around real quick so you can actually see what you're hearing. I had to step in because of that right there. I know it's pretty, isn't it? A little bit better view. You're looking through a screened in porch. Oh, it won't go that way. All right. I'm trying to get used to my new camera. I think I'm going to like it. Let's see. Yeah, you got to go up things with the head a little bit. All right, you see I'm adjusting it right on my phone. Or whatever. Hey, I appreciate you watching, or as we used to say back in the old days, tuning in. Tuning in. I want to I want to do this video, and I'm probably going to put this at the tagged video on my YouTube page because I just want to do a disclaimer on a couple things. I mean, I've been told repeatedly that um, Doug, if you do longer than 10 or 15 minutes, you're going to lose people. They're not going to watch it because uh, our attention span has gotten so short, and we've just become all Googleized. It's got to be quick and instant, and that started probably back in the '70s or at least the '80s, where it was let's make it fast and quick and get it out to people and things like that. And so they say that the average attention span for people watching videos is pretty much around 3 to 5 seconds or less. And I know if you want to gain a large group of people, then to follow you, you've got to be really extremely pretty, which uh, I don't have, but maybe close. You've got to have something really crazy or really stupid or really goofy or whatever for people to watch so they can laugh. So, it's either going to be centered around laughter or sex, or a lot of people love to watch doom and gloom. Well, my channel's none of those three. Okay? I might do some things that make you laugh, but I'm not going to take my shirt off. Okay? So now that we've got that clear, what this video is going to do for you, not this one, but these videos, my YouTube channel, it's going to help you to get into alignment. This is what this channel is designed for. Those of you that are watching, it's designed to take you from a place of where you are now to a place to where you want to go. You want to be. You were created to be that version. And the most horrible atrocity. Can I say that? Did I say that right? Atrocity. Yeah, whatever. The most horrible thing that can happen to a human is exactly what's happening to most of us. Most, not me, but what was me. But it's the very thing that we get caught up in on a daily basis of routine. We routinely get up at the same time every single day. We routinely go to the same 9 to 5 every day. We routinely get off and go to the exact same drinking hole every single day. And then we routinely get at home the same time and eat the same time meal and go to bed at the exact same time. And, there's no adventure. There's no excitement. There's no travel. There's no seeing the world as it was created. There's no doing things that we want to do. We keep it. It's kind of like this. You remember the old cartoons from the back, from the old days. They'd have a character and they'd have a fishing rod with a carrot on the end, and the horse was just well, that's what that's what it was. They'd be in a buggy, a horse-drawn carriage, and they'd have a carrot in front of the horse, and the horse was always trying to get to the carrot, but he never could get there. And people live their lives that way. They live their lives vicariously through movies and entertainment. And think about the addiction that people have towards entertainment. I mean, I'm not saying entertainment is bad. I love a good football game. I love, every now and then a really, 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 really good movie, which most of those were made in the, 70s and 80s. That's my opinion. Sometimes I just watch them over and over again. But we're a culture that has become addicted to entertainment. We're a culture that has become addicted to pleasures, sex, alcohol, drugs, attention, accolades, and we feel like we have to have those things. And in truth, we do have to have some of those things. However, this has replaced destiny. This has replaced the best version of yourself. This has replaced a lot of good. And we've given up the best and we have settled for good. And so I want to help people with my journey and what I've learned. And I've learned a lot. A little bit about me. About 5 years ago, going through just some horrible things, and I'm not going to get into details about those because we all go through horrible things. I'm not unique. You've been through horrible things. We all have. So it doesn't matter what they are. As you've seen me say in several of my videos, I take responsibility for where I was because it was my fault in every single way. And I acknowledge that so that my future is also in my hands. So if my past is, then my future is as well. And, I did go through some things, but here's the one thing that I did different than most of you. And I mean that with all respect to you that are watching. I decided, I guess it was, I don't know if it was an epiphany. I don't know if it was, I just got up one morning and I decided that, it's been a long time since I even opened up my Bible and read a book or anything like that. So I got up one morning, I thought, you know what, I'm going to read the Bible, just not as a minister, not as a pastor like I used to be, not as a business leader like I am now, but as just someone who's hungry for more of what God designed for me. And I wanted to experience God's best without the guilt and the shame and the ridicule and all these things that come along sometimes that people receive from other people because God's blessing them. And so I just started a journey, and I started reading the Bible for myself. Same old scriptures that I used to read back when I was pastoring, but I read them in a different light. And then the other thing that I did, I just started looking at different authors, not church authors, because I was through with that. I was done with that. The church is focused pretty much right now, and this will be a little side journey, maybe another video for another time, but the church is all focused on sin, repent, sin, repent, sin, repent. It's rinse, wash, repeat over and over again. And I was tired of that. I know things I've done, and I know the sin I've done. I know all that stuff, okay? And to truly repent from something means to stop doing it and move on. So in a lot of ways, without the churchy way, I repented from the things that I was doing. I stopped doing them, laid them down. I picked up some other things. And I began to read some secular authors and things that they had to say about God's best for you. And that's where I began my journey. And so, having said that, my life completely, radically changed. And I know I'm not giving you all the details right now, and that's okay. We'll get to them. But my life radically changed almost from day one. And, my big focus was I need to make more money. That was my thought back then. I didn't realize that it wasn't money that I was after. It was peace. It was options. It was the ability to decide and not worry or be concerned about what's in my bank account to if I can do it. And so that was my goal. Ultimately, was I want to wake up every morning and have an option. Do I go here or do I go there? And it wasn't based on if I could afford it or not. I wanted to be able to wake up in the morning and ask myself, hey, do you want to go to the mountains today or go to the beach today? Or do you want to travel out west today? Would you like to get on an airplane and fly to Brazil today or Dominican Republic or any of those things? Would you like to send money to your family or children or whatever? I wanted to wake up every morning with an option, and that I could do literally anything that I wanted to do. And for those of you that think, well, just Doug was not given a thing other than free knowledge. That was it. And didn't have a mentor, didn't have someone that was saying, hey, this is what you do, none of those things. And so that's what I want to be for you, because I learned it. I learned how to go from, let's see, I was living in Atlanta. This was 4.5 years ago. I think my average monthly income was around $4,000, $4,000, which for a lot of people, I understand that's really good, but you probably aren't living in Atlanta, 2 people in a home, to do that. And so I started moving in this direction toward the law of attraction. Kind of found it on accident, was just flipping through Netflix or Prime Video or something. And, I remember we were just coming through a bad bout of COVID, and I'm flipping through because I couldn't do anything but watch TV and read a book. And so I found this movie or this documentary or whatever it was called The Secret. And I thought, well, let me try it. And I watched it, and my life was radically changed from that moment. I thought, my God, somebody's gotten a hold of how the universe really works. And someone's gotten a hold of how faith really works. And so I began that journey with The Secret, some more books, read my Bible for myself. And it was just within a short time that my income was increased by $30,000 a year. And then shortly after that, it was, within 4 months, it was increased by $100,000 a year. And then the next thing I know, it was a lot more. And here we are today. I have options. I do. I've got options. I get up in the morning, and you see I'm at this really nice cabin, and I still travel a lot. I could have stayed in a really, really, really cheap hotel, or I could have stayed here. Guess what I did? I decided to stay here. Now, I'm not bragging. I'm telling you that story because most of you watching, you probably would have had to stay in the cheapest hotel possible, and you don't have options, and you want to have options. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make a series of videos that are not going to be 3, 5 minutes or whatever. They're going to be a lot longer than that. They're going to be, this one. Let me move this up a little bit. What is happening here? Come on. They're going to be a lot longer than 3 to 5 minutes, obviously. And I want you to commit to watch them and follow along on this journey. I'm going to start from 1, and we're going to go all the way to the end. And then when we get finished, I've got a very, very big thing that's going to be launched